So good morning and welcome to class. So I thought today we would do a general posture sequence, work with some standing postures and then come down onto the mat and do some postures there. It's going to feel like a general workout. So we will be working all the parts of the body and using a belt. That's optional and I'll show you when we can do that, but it just adds that little extra element to the practice. Okay, so we're going to start with some warm-ups and then finish with Shavasana relaxation in the usual way at the end. All right, so let's get started. So let's just settle ourselves then down onto the mat. And just tuning into your presence here now. Hopefully you created a nice quiet space for your practice. So just bringing yourself then to the present moment, starting to let go. Feeling into your posture, the way you're sitting, the contact with the mat through your seat, if you're sitting cross-legged on the floor, or through the shins and the tops of the feet if you're sitting on a yoga support. And to help us bring everything into center, let's help the mind muscle relax. So we're going to imagine a cupboard and we're going to sweep all the stuff in there for the moment. So whatever's been happening so far today and whatever else is going to happen, we're going to let go of all that. We're not interested in the moment. So we just sweep it away and close the cupboard doors. And just enjoy that feeling of lightness and relief. Take some breaths in and out of the nose into that vacated headspace. Letting go. Now that the mind is fully available, let's then take it into the body. So take your awareness to the feet. Relax the feet completely. And then moving up the legs, through the shins, the calves, the knees and the thighs. So let the yoga support or the floor take your weight now as you relax your legs completely. And now we're going to tilt the pelvis slightly forward. So just roll the hips just a little forward to allow the spine to lengthen up towards the ceiling. Perhaps just lean back a little onto the sit bones there. As you lengthen the side seams, sitting up straight and the chest lifts and the shoulders broaden and drop. Arms are nice and heavy by your sides with the hands resting on the thighs, palms facing down. The head is nice and centered between the shoulders and the face is holding no expression. So just let it go, just soften in the forehead, the area around the eyes and the jaw. Just to make sure that you are fully relaxed, just go ahead in your mind's eye and do that body scan once more. Start at the feet, work your way up, letting go of any tension you may encounter along the way. And then from here, we're going to go into the warm-ups now. So take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to drop your chin down towards the chest. And then inhaling, lift it away slightly. And then exhaling, drawing it a little closer to the chest. And then inhaling, lifting it away last time. And then exhaling, really lengthening the back of the neck. And then inhaling, rolling the head up towards the right shoulder. And just rotate your head enough so that you get the ear dangling right over the shoulder, stretching out the left side of the neck. And then exhaling, rolling the head back down to center. Inhaling, coming up on the left. Again, just aligning the ear above the shoulder, stretching out the right side of the neck. And then exhaling, rolling back down to center. Inhaling, coming back up on the right. So just following your breath then, just rolling the head nice and easy from side to side. Just feeling now what's going on in the neck. Letting go of any tension there. And the next time the head calms down to center, we're going to pause that practice and on an inhale, lifting the head back up to between the shoulders and continue with shoulder rolls. Send the shoulders back, circle them up towards the ears and forward. Take them back, up and forward. Keeping the spine nice and straight here. Just focusing on the shoulder joints. And the next time the shoulders come to center, just reverse the circles. Forward, up and back. And the next time the shoulders come down to center, just pausing that practice. We're now going to work with the seated spinal twist. So you're going to take your right hand to the outside of the left knee and take your left hand, rest it behind you, or have the palm up against the yoga support. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, rotate on your spinal axis, drawing the shoulders down. And then we're going to come the other way. So the left hand goes to the right knee, the right hand's behind you. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, turning. Back to the left. So the right hand to the left knee, left hand is behind you. Anchor the hands down. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, turn. Last time to the right then, the left hand to the right knee, the right hand's behind you. Nice big inhale. And then exhale, rotate. Turn the head as far as is comfortable. And then coming back to center. Lovely. So if you are on the yoga support, we're going to come off that for the moment. And you're going to come down onto your back. And we're going to do the rest of the warm-up slightly differently. So we're going to work with reclining bound angle pose. So we're going to take the knees out, the bent knees out to the side, and we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. So if I turn, you'll see here, soles of the feet together, the knees out wide, the arms are by your side. Palms facing down. So we're just going to do some pelvic lifts here to get into the hips a little bit. So on an inhale, you're going to lift the pelvis off the mat. Doesn't have to be far, an inch is probably enough. And then exhale, lower. So we're going to inhale, lift the pelvis up, Press the soles of the feet together, grounding down through the outer edges of the feet so that we're engaging the muscles. Exhale, lower. So find your own rhythm here now, working with the breath. Inhale as you come up. And then exhale, lowering down. So we're just looking for finding some space in the hips here rather than kind of yanking them open. Just allow a gentle inside thigh stretch here to happen. Keep flowing. I like doing these because you are fully supported on your back, so there's no weight bearing involved here, so you can really focus 100% on what's going on in your hips. Now, you'll feel that there's a difference between the two. Maybe one is more tight than the other. Doesn't matter. Just kind of notice what's going on. Work with what there is. Maybe a couple or more. Inhaling as you come up with the pelvis, and exhaling as you softly lower. The last one, rounding down the feet, and then exhale, coming back. Good. Inhale, bring the knees into center. And then exhale, rolling over onto one side. Coming up onto all fours. So having stretched the hips, we're now going to work with the front and the back line with cat-cow. So if you like having support for your knees, then take the blanket across your mat. Hands are underneath your shoulders. And again, if your wrists need more support, remember you can always make a little roll with your mat and get some more padding underneath the heel of your hand. It's always optional. It's a clever little trick. So we have the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees are hip width apart. You can have your feet flat on the mat or toes tucked under, whichever you like. And then on an inhale, we're going to start to drop the belly down towards the mat, rolling the elbows towards each other, sending the shoulders back and looking up as far as it's comfortable, sending the tailbone up towards the ceiling. And then exhaling, we're going to come back into cat. Pressure through palms, knees, shins and toes to get the stretch. And then flowing in your own rhythm. So work with the length of the inhale and the exhale. There's no rush doing these. And if you want to add a little core activation here, when you're in cat, when you're exhaling, draw the navel towards the spine. That will help you expel a little bit more air. So a few more of these. Keep grounding down through the hands, the knees, shins, tops of feet, toes. And then the last time in cat, big long exhale. And then coming into neutral. Right, so we're going to let the mat go. We're going to sit back on our heels, remove the blanket if it's there. We're going to come up into standing. So we're just going to work with some breathing first of all, just to get ourselves a little warmed up. So find our mountain pose then. We're going to have our feet underneath the hip joints here. So start to kind of ground down, feeling into this standing posture. And we're just going to work with some breathing. So on an inhale now, lift the arms up, lift the chin up a little too. And then exhale back to center. Inhale, take the arms out to the side. And then exhale back to center. Inhale, take it all in. Exhale, lower the chin, come back to center. Inhale, out to the side. Exhale, back to center. Keep flowing. Inhale. Exhale. Take it to the side, gaze forward. Good. One more. Inhale. Lift the chin up. Arms come up. Exhaling. And then last time to the side. And exhale. Good. Drop your arms. And now we're going to find our mountain pose proper. So standing then with the palms facing forward, closing your eyes. Bring your awareness to your feet. Feel the contact with the mat through the soles of the feet. And then moving your awareness now up the legs then, making sure that the knees are dropped. Thighs are relaxed. Your buttocks are relaxed. Your tummy is soft. Chest is lifted. Shoulders are broadened, dropped. Face is relaxed, holding no expression. So just standing here now, enjoying your mountain pose. Let the breath come in and out of the nose, nice and easy. Just let yourself be drawn upwards towards the sky, but without tensing anywhere. So just have a little play here. See if you can find that lightness. Couple more breaths. And then on an exhale, allowing that practice to finish. Good. So from here, we're going to work with forward fold, but we're going to add half forward fold to it. So just to demonstrate, we're going to turn to the side, inhale, and then we're going to come down into forward fold, and then we're going to slide the hands up into half forward fold and work here. Now, the thing about half forward fold is that if you're just sort of hanging here with the hands just gently resting on the shins, you're not going to get the shoulder opening aspect of this. So nice straight arms, hands underneath the shins, and then pressing through the hands into the shins. And when you do that, you get the shoulder opening. So a very subtle movement. I'll come a little closer so that you can see. So here's relaxed, not doing anything. And then now we're going to move the shoulders back and the chest can come through. So there's a difference between just sort of being here and letting the chest come through, shoulders back, sending the tailbone away from the top of your head. Okay, so let's do that then. So inhale, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive into your forward fold. And then inhaling, sliding the hands up towards the knees, heel of the hand just below the kneecap. Slight bend in the knee. Shift the weight into the ball of your foot so that you haven't got your hips backwards. So bring it forward, get the stretch in the hamstring. And now, with the pressure through the palms, send the shoulders back. Gazes to the floor. Head in line with the spine. So you've got nice extension here in the back of the neck. Take a few breaths here. Really feel into this half forward fold. It's got a lot to offer. So with every exhale, slight pressure to the palms, draw the shoulder blades down and away, let the chest come towards the floor. And because you're pushing into the mat at the same time through your feet, you're getting a hamstring stretch here. Good. Feel a broadening across the lower spine as well when you're doing that. We're going to take one more breath in. And then as you exhale now, you're going to come all the way down into your forward fold. And if your hands don't reach the floor, you can rest them on the calves or hold your elbows. Whichever way you're working, you're going to let your head hang down so that you get a nice stretch. The back of the neck, let it relax completely. Just check that the weight is in the balls of the feet. Slight bend in the knee. And then just take some breaths here. With every exhale, drawing the chest towards the thighs. Couple more breaths. Good. And then we're going to get ready to come out of forward fold. So on an inhale, bend the knees, send your arms forward, rounding down through the soles of the feet, coming all the way up. And then exhale, letting the arms go. Lovely. We're going to work with extended side stretch to get into the side seams. So you're going to face the long side of your mat. Take your feet a leg length apart. Align your heels and turn the right foot out. 90 degrees, turn your left foot in slightly for balance. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, bend that right knee. So just check that it's above the ankle. Resting the forearm on the thigh. So just feeling how nudging the knee to the right with the forearm opens up this hip here. And then on an inhale, we're going to roll the ribcage up towards the ceiling, stacking the shoulders. And then see what that left arm wants to do. Now you can stay on the hip, or you can reach up towards the ceiling, or it can come on up and over into a diagonal. So this is a reach. So grounding down through the left foot and reaching. At the same time, keep that right knee going to the right with your forearm. Keep this right hand active as if you're holding a bowl of fruit rather than have it just hanging there. Good, and breathe. Breathing into the side seam here. Opening out the chest, whether you're here or here. And then we're just going to add an arm sweep here. So on an inhale now, you're going to take that arm up and over, behind, and let the back of the hand rest on the lower spine, or maybe it'll come here onto the thigh. Either way, with every exhale, sending the shoulders in opposite directions. Keeping the head in line with the spine. Or looking up. That challenges the balance. Good. And then on an inhale, we're going to come back up, and we'll just switch right over to the other side. So swivel your feet around. So now the left foot comes out. The right foot turns in for balance. Take a breath in, exhale. Then the left knee now. Place the forearm just behind the kneecap. Feel that contact. Nudging that knee towards the left. And then on an inhale, rolling the ribcage up towards the ceiling. And then check in with your right arm. Is it going to stay there, the hip? Or is it going to come up, reaching for the ceiling? Or is it going to come up and over? Again, it's a reach. Keep rotating the rib cage up towards the ceiling. Strong through the feet. Sending this hand away from the foot. Good. And then we're going to take an inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to sweep the right arm behind, let the back of the hand rest, the lower spine or on the thigh, wherever it needs to land. And then again, pressure through the back of the hand and through the left forearm to help with the rotation and open out the chest. Gaze can be forward, head in line with the spine. You can look up for the challenge. Good. One more breath here. And then on an inhale, we're going to come back up, straighten that leg, bring the feet back in. Lovely. Now for this next one, we're going to be working with chair pose. So optional belt. I'm just going to turn to the side here. So you can bring your feet a little closer together than mountain pose, with a couple of inches apart. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, find your chest. So send the hips back, bend the knees, let them track over the feet. Your mountain torso is nice and straight, coming forward just a little. And then on an inhale, you're going to take your arms parallel with tension in the butt. So your thumbs are pointing forward. So keep that tension in the belt, so we're activating our arms here. And then if you want to, this is optional, we're going to activate the glutes and the thighs a little bit more. So make as if you want to send your feet in opposite directions, but there's going to be resistance in the mat. So you're going to now fire up these muscles on the outside of your legs and the glutes. Doesn't look like you're doing anything here in this posture, but there's a lot going on. So keep the tension in the belt. Keep sending the feet in opposite directions. Feel all the muscles involved here. A couple more breaths here. Good, and then on an inhale, you're going to come up, drop those arms, let the belt go. Lovely. We're going to keep working with the belt because we're going to be working in high lunge. So come to the front of your mat. Then we're going to shift the weight into our right foot. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, come back with the left foot. So here, just going to move back a bit more. Make sure you take your time here to get nice and centered. So there are some options. You can have your heel off the mat, toes pointing forward in high lunge. But if you prefer the warrior 1 foot placement, then place your foot flat on the mat, toes diagonal. Either way, as long as you can have your hips square facing forward and the knee is comfortable, then that's the important thing. So you're either in high lunge or you are in warrior 1. I'm just going to work with high lunge this morning. Hips are nice and level, facing forward. The knee is above the ankle. And then on an inhale, you're going to lift the arms up and over. And this is where we can take that belt as wide as it needs to be to get the arms in line with your side seams. Keep the tension in the belt. If you don't have a belt, then just lift your arms up, palms facing. Strong through the feet now to give you the lift. And then big breath, deep breaths in and out of the nose. One more. Good. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to lower the belt and come forward. with the foot. So let's play with the other side. So shift the weight into your left foot. Take a breath in. As you exhale, send the right foot back. So same again. Take your feet however wide they need to be for you to be comfortable. Decide on the foot placement at the back, warrior one or high lunge, whatever feels comfortable for your knee, your right knee. Keep the hips level, square facing forward. Once you're nice and centered and the knee is above ankle, take a breath in and we're going to lift up the arms again with the belt. Make them as wide as they need to for your arms, your upper arms to be in line with your ears. So equal pressure through both feet here. Good. Couple more breaths. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, lower the belt and then come forward. Good, lovely. Before we get down onto the mat, we've got one more thing we're going to do, and we're going to work with our balance. So this is tree pose. And there are a number of foot options, so just think about how you want to work it this morning. So we're going to work with our left standing leg first, which means that you can turn your right foot out with the ball of the foot on the mat, cupping the ankle on the left, or you can have your foot below the knee on the shin, or you can have your foot on your thigh. So whichever way you're working this morning, just place the right foot where it needs to be, and then start grounding down through that standing leg. Have your hands to the heart center. They can stay here, or if you want to, take an inhale, lifting the arms up, and then branching out on the exhale. So perhaps finding a spot on the floor or on the wall in front of you is helpful here. But just notice how you can put some pressure through that right foot into the floor or the shin or the thigh to draw this right knee out to the side. Breathing in and out of the chest here. See if you can find the lightness. Let the wobble happen. Try not to grip the mat with your foot. And then let's come out of tree pose on this side. We're going to inhale, lifting the arms back up. And then exhale, taking them back to the heart center, and then letting the right foot go. So let's shift it then over to the other side. So again, over the ankle, on the shin below the knee, or on the thigh above the knee. Hands to the heart center, keeping the arms here, hands here, or inhaling, lifting the arms up, and exhaling into tree, your version of tree on this side. Same thing on this side, keeping the hips level and pressure through that left foot to just draw the left knee out, opening up the left hip. More breaths here. Good, and then on an inhale, lifting the arms back up, and then exhaling, lowering the hands to the heart center, and letting the left foot go. Great. Really important to have some balances in our practice because it really helps us focus Very de-stressing and of course awesome for all of the muscles everywhere. Lovely. So what we're going to do next, we're going to come down onto the mat. And if you have blocks, if you have square blocks, just have them on either side of the top of your mat. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Equally, we're going to be coming down on our knees at one point, so have a blanket across your mat just to be ready. So what's going to happen is that we're going to come up into down face dog. We're going to work a little bit here, and then we're going to come down onto the knees. We're going to bring the right foot through, and we're going to work with half monkey pose, Hanumanasana, for the hamstring stretch. And then we're going to swing that foot back, and we're going to do down face dog and then do the stretch on the other side. So have the blocks there ready if you need them. Take your hands forward, tuck your toes under, and on an inhale, lifting the knees off the mat into your down face dog. So keep your feet roughly hip width apart. Draw your ears towards your upper arms in line, and if this means you have to bend the knees to find the length of the spine, then go ahead and do that. And then you can play with straightening the knees, but not locking out. So just maybe walk the dog a little bit here, stretch out your calves. This is all about spine lengthening and down face dog. Good. A couple more breaths here. Spread your fingers wide. Pressure through the palms and the balls of the feet to give you the lift. Send the hips up towards the ceiling. And then take a breath in as you exhale. You're going to lower the knees with control. You're going to bring the right foot through. Flex the foot so that the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Draw your hips back so that your thigh is perpendicular to the mat. Have your blocks ready if you need them. So if that is lengthways here, then that's fine, or maybe lower, or maybe the hands can come down to the mat. Either way, nice and straight mountain torso, nice straight spine, slight bend in that right knee. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, drawing your chest towards the right thigh. Just be aware that your hips might want to swing out to the left, but keep them center. It's a very deep hamstring stretch here. You might want to deepen the stretch by sending the right hip back with the right heel digging into the mat a little bit. It gives you the resistance. You can feel a deeper stretch here. There can also be movement here. So on an inhale, bend the knee, come forward, rock forward, and then exhale, sending the right hip back. The inhale coming forward, exhale, send the hip back. Good. Now we're going to get ready to come out of half monkey pose. On an inhale, lifting the mountain torso back up, let go of your blocks, bring your hands to the inside of the leg and swing it back. Take your hands forward, tuck your toes under, and lifting the knees off the mat for down face dog again. Find some movement here if you need to stretch the calves out a little bit more. Again, bending the knees. Get those ears in line with your upper arms. Roll through the hands, spread the fingers. Good. If any time you do this practice, you want to challenge it, you can always go into three-legged dog here on each side if you wanted to. Good. Take a breath in as you exhale, lower the knees. And now we're going to bring the left foot through. So bring the left foot to the top of the mat, flex the foot, toes pointed up, perpendicular right thigh. Getting the blocks ready. If you're using them, nice straight spine, slight bend in the left knee. Take a breath in. As you exhale, drawing the chest now, lead with the chest towards that left thigh. Just be aware of the tendency for the hips to swing out to the right. Bring them back into center. And just work with where you need to be. It could feel really differently on this side. And again, drawing the left hip back, but keeping the heel where it is, deepening the stretch. Good. Try not to hunch the shoulders forward here. Keep the spine straight. 1 or 2 more breaths. Maybe do some rocking. Take it forward. Sink down. Take it forward. And sinking down. Good. And then on an inhale, you're going to come up, let the blocks go, bring the hands to the inside of the left foot, and then bring foot back. Good. So we're now going to work with plank. Not always the most popular of poses, but it's the best all over body workout. And there are some different options depending on how your arms, wrists, and shoulders are feeling. So of course, option 1 is standard plank, straight arms, shoulders over the wrists. Now, if you feel like having a little play here, you can always alternate leg lifts to add to the challenge, get a little bit more of a thigh workout. Now, if this is not so good for your wrists, even if you have roll over the mat, you're going to come into half plank. So make a triangle with your elbows, take your hands into a fist, and come into half plank that way. So choose which way you want to work with plank and come into it, whether that's with straight arms or with the forearms down onto the mat. If this is hard, remember you can always drop the knees, take a breath in and out, lift for a breath, in and out. Drop the knees in and out, hold for a breath. Whatever needs to happen here. Take a breath in now. As you exhale, drop the knees down towards the floor. Let's take it straight into puppy for a nice stretch. So tuck the toes, take the hips back halfway to the heels. Stretch your arms forward, palms down. Align your ears with your upper arms. And let the spine lengthen now and the shoulders open. Deep breaths here. Couple more breaths. Keep sending the tailbone away from the hands. Good. Lovely. And then on an inhale now, we're going to come forward into Sphinx. So bring your forearms down, lower the hips onto the mat. Take your feet hip width apart. Make sure your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Forearms are on the mat, palms facing down. Keep your head in line with the spine now, ground down through the elbows and the forearms. And then with every exhale now, drawing the chest through, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Relax your buttocks here. Just find some space in the lower spine. Open out the chest. just check where your chin is. So if you're sticking the chin out, then just tuck it in. Keep the head in line with the spine. So your gaze will probably be at an angle towards the floor. So this is a strong posture for the arms because you're keeping to the elbows through into the mat and also the forearms to keep the shoulders away from the ears. So one more breath here. And then you're going to take a breath in as you exhale. Drop your torso down towards the mat. Make a nest with the hands. Put your forehead onto your hands and then let go completely. So let the heels flop out to the side. Take some deep breaths in and out of the chest here and just let go completely. A couple of more breaths here. And then on an inhale, take your hands to the either side of your chest and swing yourself back up. And we're going to remove the blanket. And we're going to come onto our backs and work with bridge. And if you have a belt, this will probably be helpful. So bring your belt underneath your knees. Come down onto the mat. Bring your feet underneath your knees. Your knees are hip width apart. Grab the belt and make a tension in it. Have your thumbs pointing forward so that the palms are facing. And then on an inhale, you're just going to lift your pelvis up slightly and then roll over onto the outer edges of your arms. Okay, so on the one side and then the other, so that you have got full contact with the mat through the outer edges, the backs of your arms. So your shoulders are rolled open. And then from here now, keep pressure through the feet, lifting the pelvis up, drawing the chest towards the chin. So feel now how the tension in the belt is activating your arms as levers to give you the lift. So it's pressure through feet and through the whole length of the arms, opening out the shoulders and drawing the chest towards the chin with every exhale. So be mindful now to just have some space underneath, behind your neck, underneath your neck, to make sure we're not sort of jamming the neck into the mat. Keep the tension in the belt and breathe here. Good. Couple of more breaths. And then get ready now to come out of bridge pose. So take a breath in. As you exhale now, start to lower pelvis back towards the mat, letting the arms go. So come back onto back of your shoulders, let go of the belt. Your lower spine comes down last of all. Bring one knee to the chest and then the other. And then just take a little gentle rock from side to side, just to ease that out. Good. Now from here, we're going to have a glute stretch and we're going to work with the figure of 4. So there are 2 options. If you are near a wall, then this is really helpful. I'm going to show you that first. So with the wall in front of you. You're going to place your left foot onto the wall with your left thigh perpendicular to the mat. Just make sure that you're nice and straight in a line, and then bring your right foot over to just below the knee here, the ankle below the knee. And then with your right hand here, gentle pressure on that right knee to activate the right glute on this side. But just be aware that you might want to swing out to the side here. So keep your left thigh very perpendicular. And the trick with this posture is to ground down through your lower spine. That's what keeps your spine nice and straight out of the hips. And that's how you're going to find that glute. Now, if you don't have a wall, then you're going to take your hands through, your right hand through here, grab hold of the left hand behind the thigh, or if there is space in front of that, just below the left knee, with your right foot crossed over, and then work with drawing that left knee towards the left shoulder. So again, grinding down through the mat with your lower spine to keep yourself aligned and get the stretch here in the right glute. The thing about grounding down through your lower spine here is to stop the right hip from hitching up or the left hip. So either way, keeping those hips nice and centered. And that's what gets you that stretch. Whether you've got your foot on the wall or whether you're doing it just freestyle on the mat like this. Good. A couple more breaths on this side. Just check that that left knee hasn't sort of drifted towards the right. So just keep it to the left and then drawing that left knee towards the left shoulder. Left foot is completely relaxed, just dangling. And then just finishing the glute stretch on that side. And now we're going to switch over. So if you've got a wall, you're going to place your right foot on the wall, and just making sure that this right thigh is perpendicular to the floor. Bring the left foot over. And again, play with now pushing that knee away, the left knee away, but keeping the spine nice and straight because you're grounding down through your lower spine and the whole back. And again, if you haven't got the wall, then you're going to bring your left foot over to just below the right knee, thread your left arm through, holding the hands behind the thigh or in front of the knee. Just line yourself up, so make sure you haven't now drifted off to the left. Align the right knee with the right shoulder. That left elbow can kind of nudge that knee out to the side as you draw the knee towards the shoulder, and you're going to find that left glute. But I'll say it again, keep grounding down through your spine into the mat to keep those hips level and square and not hitching up on either side. We don't want to have a little twist in the lower spine here. A couple more breaths here. And then we're just going to let that go. So you're going to lower the feet back onto the mat, come away from the wall if you're up against the wall there. We're just going to finish with some window wipes. So you're going to bring your feet, just turn so you can see Bring your feet so that the outer edges of the foot are aligned with the outer edge of the mat. Take your arms out wide, palms up. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, drop those knees to the right, but keep your feet where they are. Let them roll over to their outer edge. Draw the left knee now to the mat. Stretch out that left thigh and through the whole diagonal. So keep the shoulder blades on the mat. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, take the roll to the left. Now you can add the head roll. The head rolls to the right as the knees go to the left, and then vice versa. So find your own rhythm here. And just let the whole side seam, your whole diagonal on each side stretch out. A couple more of these on each side. Good, and then on an inhale, coming back to center, and we are finished with the sequence. And from here, you're going to find your relaxation posture, your shavasana. And so again, go ahead and get whatever you need for your support. So perhaps that is a blanket behind your head or over you. So make sure you're warm enough and comfortable. And if you have a bolster, you're going to take it underneath your knees, just to take off the pressure of the lower spine. If you want to, take your arms slightly out from your sides. Your feet are sort of hip-width apart. The palms are facing up. Just do a quick body scan from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Make sure that you're fully relaxed. And then let the breath now find its own natural, easy rhythm in and out of the nose. And then we're going to detach from any thoughts, any sounds, take our awareness within to that place of hovering between fully awake and asleep. And you will hear the bell when we're ready to come out. So just bringing yourself back into the room, back into the body now. And just inviting some gentle movement to the hands, the feet. If you want to, taking your arms up over your head, taking a nice long stretch down the length of the body. And then bringing one knee to the chest and then the other. If it feels all right, hugging the knees, taking a gentle rock from side to side. And then rolling over onto your right side and just pausing there, taking some deep breaths into the back of the chest. And then pushing the upper arm into the floor and gently rolling yourself up into comfortable sitting. And then taking your hands to the heart center, just thanking the body for the practice and for always supporting us in our daily lives. And then hands to the forehead for kind and loving thoughts. Hands to the mouth for kind and loving words. And then back to the heart center for always staying open in love. And we can say namaste. Thank you. Lovely. I hope you enjoyed that practice and see you back on the mat another time soon.